I normally do all of my audio control within the software itself, but this might take me out of my habits of just using OBS to control everything. But honestly, I have another product that I might use for that instead, but you're going to want to subscribe to the channel to learn about that later. What is up, y'all? It's the Extreme Teach here, and let's see if what I said before was true. Elgato sent me their Stream Deck Plus, which I will be reviewing. We'll see if it's worth the price, what it can do for you, if it's worth replacing your other Stream Deck perhaps, and if you really need this piece of equipment. Let's talk about it. Class is in session. One of the things you might not notice immediately is that the buttons are bigger than the standard Stream Deck, and they are clear in a slightly higher resolution. The base can be unscrewed, but it cannot be moved. It does come with a USB-C cable that you plug one end into the back of the Stream Deck Plus and the other end into your computer, and it can be swapped out if you like to use a longer or a shorter cable. The first thing you're likely to notice about the Stream Deck Plus is the 4 dials on the bottom. And with these, you're able to do exactly what it looks like you can do. You can adjust the volume. Editor's note, one of my favorite things to do is play Sifu with mods. And when I play with mods, as you can see, Chun-Li, I like to play with that character's music. And I can adjust the volume on YouTube directly without leaving my game. So even outside of a streaming capability, it's still pretty neat. There's a plugin that you can use, which is a auto volume controller. And when you press that button, it automatically is aware of what programs are open and only those programs appear. And you can adjust the volume of those individually without having to use external software or having to configure Wavelink to route everything through that one source. And if you know about Wavelink, you know what I'm talking about. But speaking of Wavelink, one of my favorite things about the Stream Deck Plus is that you can now use the Wavelink program if you wanted to without having to use a Wavelink device, which would be the Wave DX microphone or the Wave 1 or the Wave 3 microphone. You can use whatever microphone you want to with Wavelink and still control everything you want to. As you can see here, I'm using a microphone that's not made by Elgato, but I can still use the Wavelink software. Also with the dials, you can control other things as well. I choose to use them to control the key lights in my environment, which are all made by Elgato, so there's full compatibility there. If I create a dial stack, which means that once I create that, I'm able to use one button for multiple functions and change those functions each time I press on the dial. So if I want to change to a different light, I just press the dial and then I turn the knob. And I can adjust exactly how much this number goes up when I turn the dial, so I can be as exact as I need to be or as fast as I need to be, depending on how precise I want to be. The second thing you're likely to notice about the Stream Deck Plus is the LCD touch panel. This is an 800 by 100 pixel image, so if you want to create something to have your own custom image there, be sure to create it with that ratio. And this LCD touch panel might be my favorite feature of the Stream Deck Plus, because instead of having to use an individual next page button like I would have to on an older Stream Deck, all I have to do is swipe my finger along the bottom and that will switch pages for me. It makes everything streamlined, and if I had to sum this device up in one word, it would be streamlined. Just like with any other Stream Deck, you can copy and paste your Stream Deck profiles from one Stream Deck to another, or if you have actions that you set up on one Stream Deck and you wanted to put it on your Stream Deck Plus, you could do that as well. You know, when I looked at the box, I realized that it actually had streamline your setup on it. So I basically had the right thing in mind when I thought about streamlining being the thing that sums up this device entirely. By the way, the MSRP for this is $200. If you do not have a Stream Deck and it entices you in any way, or if you want to get a Stream Deck as a gift for a streamer that you know, go with the Stream Deck Plus. I feel like this is such a good Stream Deck that it could be the Stream Deck of all Stream Decks. Like once you have this one, I don't feel like you really need any more unless you're just trying to show off. And with the touchpad allowing you to just switch pages, you basically have infinite buttons. The possibilities are endless. So I say if you don't have one, definitely go for it. If you don't feel like you're gonna be using a whole lot of knobs, maybe it's not your speed, but if you wanna control that audio like I was talking about before, maybe you just wanna have access to the Wavelink program without having a Wavelink microphone. Easy way to do it. Stream Deck Plus. If you like the video, then like the video. Class dismissed. Shout out to Corliss JC, Dr. J, and Mocha Medics for being tier 3
They
patrons.
teach you in like YouTube streamer school how to be a streamer 101. Consistency. Well, I've got that in spades.
Not you saying my name.
Twitter, it's been
Hold up.
Check out Streamer School for tech and
If you
tips.
guys would,
Tutorials.
sometime. I'm partnered on Twitch. Monday